Okay, here we are again. Sorry about that. So we have our needle punched through. We made our retracted, pulled out. Now we'll pull the needle here, and we have thread on both sides. You can see there our two pieces of material. Now you want to, and what I usually like to do here on this end, this is the end towards our handle. I like to kind of wrap it on my fingers so I can keep tension that way on the thread. Now we'll make our first stitch and come over as far or however wide you want your stitches to be. So right there, we're going to put our thumb there. Now be careful because you don't want to poke up through your thumb. That would be quite painful. So we pull through, push our needle through, retract part way. There's our loop that we saw before. Take our thread that's on top here, this guy, put it through that loop, okay, and then pull the needle all the way back, and there's your first stitch. Okay, this top thread never leaves the top, and the bottom never leaves the bottom. They're always there. So to do that again, to make our stitch, go over however far you want your stitches. You can make a nice tight stitch or wide stitch, whatever. Push through. Okay. Pull through. Whoops. There we are. Where's my... There we go. Got it a little twisted. It's okay. Push your needle through. Sometimes you may have to pull your little loop. If your needle or your thread gets twisted around the needle, you may have to pull that little loop down. There's our loop. Here's our top thread coming through our loop. Kind of pull it tight. Pull the needle all the way through, and it draws in those stitches. And the stitches are actually locking between the material. Then we're going to go for another stitch here. Now, sometimes I'll just kind of tighten this up so I can keep the thread here taut. Come over a little bit, push up through, retract halfway, make sure that's the right side of the loop. Yeah, right here, this side. There you go, there's our loop. It's not really cooperating too well, I gotta straighten it out. Back. Try and do that on camera. Alright, enough of using the viewfinder, so there we go. And through like that. And right there you go. There's 3 very uneven stitches that I did through the viewfinder, but you can see them. That's what you call, I guess, standard lock stitching. It's this works the same function as a sewing machine almost, so you're getting a very good strong stitch. Now I'm just going to do a couple more here just to show you how fast it can go when I'm not trying to do it through the viewfinder. Keep it taut. Pull them snug each time. Bring the needle through. Retract part way. There's your loop. Take the top part through the loop. Pull the needle out all the way. Come back over. Make your next stitch. Push it through the material. Pull it out part way. Thread through the loop. Pull it tight. Okay, there we go. There's several little stitches. Alright, now that's just the basic standard procedure for doing standard lock stitch. And this stitch is very strong, and you can go back through and double stitch through it. Now here's a little variation. Okay, starts the same. Push your needle through. Okay, then you're gonna wrap your needle or wrap the thread. Well, first, alright, push through. Probably have better luck if you do it this way. Make your loop and then wrap the needle or the thread around the needle. I'm sorry. So around it once or twice, then through the loop and pull it out. And what's going to happen is that wrapping motion is going to kind of make like a twisted loop, and that's going to make the stitch even stronger. And especially with like this wax thread here, this artificial sinew, it'll make a very strong stitch. And it makes it even, just if you make a mistake trying to undo it, is pretty difficult. So I'll show you that again. Push through the material. Okay, bring your loop down a little bit, once around, and then through. Okay, and then pull, and it just makes a really nice strong loop there. Pull that tight. So there you go. That's your basic stitching. Whenever you're done or whatever, ooh, let me show you how to finish it off. Let me re-thread here. Got a little ahead of myself. Mercy me. Okay, so when you're done stitching, push your needle here through the material, bring it down part way, right? Now this is the normal loop that you would normally sew with, right? You don't want that one. Pull the other bit of material through. Oh, well, daggone. Retard me here. Excuse me. Push it through. Pull the other bit of material through and out of the eye. So now that you have both pieces of thread on the same side next to each other, and just tie it off in a square knot, right over left, left over right, and you're good to go, and you'll make a very strong stitch. So let's just go ahead and once that way, then right over left. Okay, there's our square knot, and then there's our stitching. It's kind of off a little bit, but you get the idea, hopefully. And it's very strong. Very, very strong stitching. And for instance, let's just take our knife here. Let's say this stitching here got cut. So there we go. We cut that stitching, that stitch. And see, the whole thing still isn't coming apart. It's a very strong stitch. Each stitch is very self-supporting, especially those last couple down here where I showed you where I told you to wrap it around. What it's really doing is, as you're wrapping it around the stitch, let me see if I can kind of recreate it. What's happening when you wrap the thread around the needle, if you follow me here, if you see what I did there, it's kind of like this, where it's twisted, and then as you're drawing it tight, that's actually what's happening in between the threads, sort of, and that's really going to lock that thread down. So hope you stay tuned for the next one.